Now, let's bring you some further analysis now with the South African Police Union spokesperson, Lesiba Thobakgale. Lesiba, thank you so much for making time. Just generally, your impressions and reactions as a police union?
Our reaction and impression, it is clear that we are not surprised at all as SAPU that the crime statistics are the way that they are as we see them, because it clearly shows that nothing is happening in the police. And this is because the two bulls are fighting. And as we know, if the two bulls are fighting, the grass will suffer. And unfortunately, the fight between the Minister of Police and the National Commissioner, it is the one that brought about the picture of such a high skyrocketed crime statistics that we see today. And this goes further to an extent whereby even crime intelligence itself, it has no leadership, because as we speak, it is being led by a general who failed in the Western Cape, and as it stands, is now acting at crime intelligence. Crime intelligence is one of those divisions within SAPS which are so important that you need somebody who can be able to capacitate and ensure that they do what is necessary there. You cannot be able to have somebody who acts at crime intelligence. So as SAPU, our position is that the infights between the Minister of the Police and also the National Commissioner, it is indeed the cause of this. And crime statistics are released by the minister, and as we speak and as we see them, they have a serious indictment on him as the Minister of Police, because looking at where we are now, the previous unrest that we had, it is clear that policing needs capacitation, starting from human capital, even going further to physical resources. We have concluded an agreement with SAPS in terms of restructuring, where what the National Commissioner was referring to in the press briefing, that the resource allocation from national to the ground level, it's supposed to be done. That restructuring, as we speak, it has not been effected as it is now. So restructuring as it stands, it has a bearing because members don't know what they are doing. They don't know where are they supposed to go. And as it stands, even their promotions are held because they cannot be promoted because there is a restructuring process that is being held at ransom by the Minister of Police. So those factors indeed are the ones that brings the crime statistics as we see them now. Yeah.
Speak to us more about that restructuring plan. Lesiba, what have you proposed and what's in that plan? You're saying it's being held ransom by the police minister. It seems to be delaying some critical appointments on the ground. What's in that restructuring plan? What have you proposed at SAPU?
As SAPU, you know, as a stakeholder within the policing and at the bargaining council, that restructuring agreement, it was indeed to channel the resources, because we know that substructure, it is, you know, it is heavy on top. So the restructuring, our inputs there, they were seeking to ensure that the resources, the resource allocation are from the top structure, ensuring that they are going down to the ground, because crime fighting, it is not happening at the national office, it is not happening at offices, but crime fighting, it is there on the ground, it is at the district, and it is there at the station level in terms of what the constitution of this country is saying. So
yeah, but practically what does that mean? Does that mean by capacitating those at district and provincial, there must be a budget from the national level, so that mustn't be concentrated there and the planning be concentrated at national level? It must trickle down to the lower structures and there must be budget that accompanies that.
What we are saying, we've got a lot of senior managers and middle managers who are at national level. So restructuring seeks to move them to ensure that they go down on the ground to perform policing duties down there, including even the physical resources that are allocated and being utilized within the divisions and even at the national head office. All of those resources goes down and be channeled to the floor whereby policing it is happening physically. So those are the issues where we knew that if restructuring is fully implemented, we would ensure that our communities are able to be serviced accordingly. There are more police officials, there are more vehicles. We can ensure that, even police officials themselves are safe there. But the minister is holding it at ransom. He doesn't want to see it implemented. That is why as SAPU, we are saying that the president, we wrote to him, the president of the Republic of South Africa, to intervene in this feud between himself and the National Commissioner. And as we see the delays around that, the crime stats are showing us that indeed this country in terms of policing is in trouble. Our members down there on the ground, even they themselves, they are just waiting to see who is going, who is staying, and they don't have the proper leadership that would guide them, for them to perform their duties in accordance, to show them the right way of fighting crime. And we are saying that the minister indeed must go now.
So you are calling as SAPU for the police minister to go. He wants the police commissioner to go. Must they both go?
Remember that both the minister and the national commissioner are appointed by the president in terms of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. And the crime statistics that we are referring to here are released, and it is the responsibility of the minister. The non-functionality of the national commissioner, it is also as a cause of the minister, because there are things that must go past him. Let's look at the budget cuts of SAPS. The budget cuts, we believe that the Minister of Police is the one who's supposed to be fighting for the budget not to be cut the way it is, because you cannot cut a budget of safety and security of the country. So we are saying that the minister, as he is the political head who has the responsibility to ensure that policing is done in accordance, he also has a responsibility to ensure that there are more police officials who are trained, who are employed, who are recruited into the system in order to capacitate, because we've got natural attrition. A lot of our police officials, over 800, we lost them due to COVID-19. As we speak today, over 32 police officials were murdered. Those factors there, they have indeed a serious indictment on the Minister of Police, who is the political head. So we are calling on him, and we are also calling on the President of the Republic, because we also wrote to his office to intervene in this feud between the Minister and the National Commissioner. And even up until today, the only thing we've got, it is just an acknowledgement, but there is nothing that has been done. So yes, it is indeed what we are saying, our position, that the Minister of Police, even the crime stats that were shared today, that he released today, are showing that he did not do what he's supposed to do, and he must go.
All right, Lesiba, thank you for making time. He says, as SAPU, this is an indictment. In fact, the stats that were released by the minister today, it's an indictment on his capabilities, and they want him to go. They've written to the president saying that he must go. Well, the minister himself has written to the president for him to suspend the police commissioner. Lesiba Thobakgale, thank you so much for your time. He's with Police Union SAPU.